friends. It's Thursday, so I like to share a little therapy tidbit. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about low muscle tone. So, I just made a whole bunch of new my friends. If you're new to watching my videos, hi, my name's Kelsey. This is my little boy, Andy. He is about 3.5 months old, and shortly after he was born, we learned that he has Down syndrome. So, one of the things that I'm really passionate about is sharing our life so that you can see just how similar our life is to yours and the slight differences that we have given Andy's diagnosis. I worked as a pediatric occupational therapist working with kids ages 0 to 3 who have developmental delays or disabilities before I became a mom. And I'm so grateful for every second that I spent doing that because I feel like it really helped me get ready to have Andy in our life. So, I wanted to talk really quick about low muscle tone. Low muscle tone is one of the most common characteristics that you'll notice in kids that have Down syndrome. It's very different from muscle strength. Low muscle tone or hypotonia, you might hear that word used. It means the same thing. Low muscle tone is a characteristic that you can see in some other diagnoses or genetic disorders or things. So you may have had like a grandparent who had a stroke and now one side of their body is really limp, right? And maybe doesn't work as well as the other side. That's associated with not only paralysis, but sometimes there can be changes in muscle tone as well. So low muscle tone when it comes to Andy makes him the most squishy, cuddly, lovable guy that just kind of melts into your arms. You'll notice that maybe he's a little bit more floppy than other babies. Yeah, it's not because he's lazy. It's just because his muscles have a different amount of tension in them when they're at rest. So one of the ways that I really like to think about it is to take like a rubber band or a hair elastic. Hey Katie, how are you? And think about this like your muscles. So when we're all just kind of hanging out, sitting, resting, our muscles have a certain amount of tension to them. Some people's muscles are like pretty tight and they have a lot of tension to them, and other people's muscles are really loosey-goosey. So Andy's muscles are really loosey-goosey, which means basically that it takes him a lot of effort and a lot of energy to do things like hold his head up or try to think about rolling over down the road. This will mean that it takes him more effort and more energy to do things like sit up by himself or walk, eat, probably talking, all those kinds of things that will be impacted by his muscle tone. Whoa! It's totally possible to build up your muscle strength. And so Andy's been working really hard on that and getting a lot better at holding up his head. But your muscle tone will stay the same throughout your life. You can't change it. So if you have questions, leave them for us below. I one time heard a mama describe having low muscle tone as trying to move when you're like underneath pounds and pounds of sand, which I think is a pretty good descriptor. So that's our therapy tidbit for the day. We love sharing our life with all of you and helping you learn more about Down's, and what our life is like. You want to say goodbye? Say bye, friends. You can notice my low muscle tone the most when I'm milk drunk and kind of sleepy, huh? We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.